Welcome to Mudding with BEAGS. This is episode 21. Right now we're going to go to Atlantic City, circa 1907. This is the Seaside Hotel, Seaside House. And right there, that's the horse that built America and his cousin. And they built these boardwalks up here to hide the mud flood. So that's what these are for. Of course, you think that these are just a nice area to walk around at the beach, but they're just a cover-up. Anyways, let's see. Anywho, let's see. You got some big old dome type areas here on the top of the houses. This is probably old Antiquitech here. Horseshit awnings that we add. Got some mud flood windows. Yes, they're not below ground, but they probably should be. Over here, they've added stairs to go up to the top. So more than likely this building is down in the ground. And this is probably more than likely, I would assume, although it's hard to tell, this is probably a wood structure. They did build a lot of wood back in the old times, so we don't want to forget the framing that was done with old growth lumber. So anytime you see the old growth lumber, it's a possibility that it's old world. That old growth lumber is. Look up new stud. Excuse me. Google new and old stud, and look at the tree ring. The difference in the tree rings on new studs and the old growth studs, and you'll be amazed at the difference there. But this would have been probably, it's hard to tell. I don't think I can tell. I mean, it could be balloon style framing, but it also could be platform. I don't know. Well, no, I don't think it's platform because that would have come later. I don't know about timber framing. It's really hard to tell without seeing the interior. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Got Antiquitech up here. The areas up here very interesting. Antennas. These portal-looking windows here. These ones open. I think is really interesting. Reminds me of that movie. With what's his name? Jim Carrey, where they had the eye-shaped window and it would burn. A series of unfortunate events. Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. Pretty cool. That's pretty right there. The cupolas are just amazing. Anyways, let's see what these people are up to. Just hanging out. Got a very leisurely life. Oh wow, look at the detail on that thing. Jeez. Old metal, metal style roof, the tin roofs, which hold up so well. What are you gals up to? Let's see. Arched windows. Huh. There's your 8-point asterisk. Damn. That sucker snuck back there. I hadn't seen that one. That's interesting. I have to put that one in my collection. See this phone pole on the right? That's our work. We create crooked shit. I don't think we could build straight at this point. Took us a while. I like how they did those stairs. Those are cool. I like that. We're very good at building with wood. That's our thing. Nice final right there. Finial, excuse me. Shouldn't say final. It's not a final. It's a finial. Anywho, let's see. Yeah, we're going to Courthouse in Dayton, Ohio, 1902. So in 1902, just after the turn of the century, going into the 20th century, we're going to have that massive amount of buildings for these itty bitty little teeny people. This little fellow right here, he knows what's going on. He is selling something. What the hell has he got? Oh, what that is. Oh, that might be Boss Man right there. Oh, check out that cannon. Which ain't a cannon. Yeah. 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 Try to put a cannonball in that and fire it. Okay. Let's see if it shoots through a wall. Let's see how far that ball really flies. I'm not talking about putting dry load in, people. I'm talking about putting a cannonball up a cannonball's ass and pulling the trigger. Let's see how far it really goes. Let's see how that works out for you. That might be Boss Man right there. I don't know. He's awful Boss Man looking right there. That's pretty cool right there. Wow. Neat statue. Let's see. Get your antennas up here. These smokestacks are old world. That well, we used them as smokestacks. They're not smokestacks. I don't know what the hell they were. If you look into these things, they're not what they say they are. They don't even make no sense. The size and the scale. They're phenomenal how big they are. Absolutely phenomenal. Look into smokestacks. Very interesting stuff. Antennas up here. What is that? That's a flagpole going all the way up. That is interesting. That's not something you see very often at this point. Now see the difference between a pole, which is probably old world. They might have taken this off a building. That might be what's going on here. I'm not sure. It's very odd to be on the ground like that. That's just not something you see very often. But then look at that pole. I mean, that's our work, obviously. We just, we can't figure out how to get a straight tree from the woods. I don't know. We probably added these stairs. Old Corinthian columns, representative of the Taurus field. You got your pyramid. Let's go over here and see what we got here. We got a portal up here. Pyramid symbology. Can't make that out. Too hard to read. Dang. Look at the size of that doorway. Humongous. It's a itty bitty little person with a great big giant. No. No, it's not a giant. Anywho, I ran across this quote today. I should have pulled it, but quote that was talking about how when when they first came over, the first explorers into the Americas, that they were told that they were there was a quote. Oh, shoot, they were saying that what was over here was black people and giants. I was like, damn. Well, that about sums up what I believe. I was like, okay. So anyways, that was an interesting quote. Let's see. Anyways, I'm doing more research on Abu Bakr II. And come to find out that there's a lot more evidence for that idea than even I knew. Look at these antennas up here and right here. Interesting. Big old archway. The cupola here. Got a xenon arc light. I don't know if it's xenon, but got an antenna. Got technology there, and there. Got portals. Oh, let me back up. Don't want to get too far out. Okay. Wow, look at these old lights, man. I think they're old world, man. I think we converted them suckers. It's interesting how they're painting their light poles from you know, about 5 to 6 feet up, and then painting them white all the way up. I wonder why they're doing that. That's odd. Very, very odd. Okay, I can't really see a whole lot else there. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, I think that's... Oh, whoa, 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 gone crazy. There. Damn, went nuts for a second. Circa 1904, this is a street corner merchant in Havana, Cuba. I just thought this was kind of neat. Look at this little gazebo looking thing, and it's been turned into a store. That dude's mustache. That's crazy. I don't know. It just was interesting. Let's see. El Palace. I can't read now. Royal. I can't read this. American Shoe Store. La Casa de Moda. Alright. I cannot read it. Okay. Doesn't help me. And I just thought this detail was just beautiful on this little gazebo. And then this thing was interesting. This finial here. This is an antenna, but that thing, I mean, you imagine that thing's just full of mercury. And I thought this light was just beautiful. Look at that thing. Looks like it's been converted to gas, I would say. But that thing is just so cool. I would love to have one of those. Really freaking cool lamp. Very, very beautiful design work there. That's Junior Boss Man right there. That's probably Boss Man right there. Look at their little itty bitty ties. Oh my goodness. They're so cute. Okay, anyways. Anywho, that's just really a pretty light. And what we got over here, got some beautiful old world architecture up here. Some kind of tiny little pole going up. Interesting. Okay. I don't think there's much else. Let's see if there's anything back there. Big old buildings back in the back. Okay. And this is 1905. Nassau Street, New York City. Nassau Street? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Who knows? Fine art printing. It's easy to get what is recognized as fine art printing at reasonable figures by consulting the printer who has an up-to-date print shop. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Okay. Whatever. Hemi sauce building. Okay, so we added this horse shit for some reason. Women, $3.50. Is that a deal? I don't know. Price is kind of a little lower back then. I don't know. Anyways, there's eagle symbology. For that, you could just substitute the phoenix. Let's see what we got going down here on street level. Everybody got their bowler hat hanging out. Everybody's always just hanging out. Nobody's ever inside. Why? Where are all these people going? Weather strips. Okay. Oh, look at that design work right there. That's neat. Arched windows. That's an interesting architecture back there. Big old antennas hanging up there. Don't see no damn flagpole, do you? Probably got mercury filled things. Damn, that could be a flag right there. Damn, some stupid ass hung a flag on that thing. I bet some dumbass hung a flag on there one day just to be a smart ass, and everybody's like, that's a good idea. That's how we could cover those damn things up. Let's see. Got holes going into the mud there. Look at the detail in that thing. Wow. That is cool. Got you some coal hole covers here. Just amazing. What a world. I mean, you know, it's hard to tell. Kind of looks like Fleur de Lis, but very hard to tell. Just what an amazing world. What we got going on right there. Hard to tell. That's a big ass building right there. Good grief. I mean, this is 1905. I mean, you got your Tartarian line right there? Over here too. This is interesting right here. That is rather odd looking. That, I don't know. Looks like a Phoenician wave to me right there. Got your laurel leaf. Wonder if that's like an everlasting flame. Got a seashell, Phoenician. Another seashell, Phoenician. Big ass antenna. Boy, that thing's strong right there. That's an ether sucker right there. Antennas over here, up here. Arched windows. Just look at the freaking detail, man. Gosh, that right there, that's hard to tell. Alright. Man, that is just, what a world. We live in a pile of dog crap compared to this world. 1905 Williamson Building in Cleveland. So this is down at a public square, and the Soldiers and Sailors Monument is right here on the left hand side of the screen. You can't really see it real good, but it is there. And in these little doodads right here in this grass area, it's not shown, but in one of these there's the shape of a star fort. Clear as day. Clear as day. And you got holes going down in the mud floods. You got a leaning ladder. A lot of banks back then. A lot of people playing with money. Big old hole down in the mud flood. And it is from my research, this entire area is raised via viaducts. So you were looking at a viaduct right here. Look into it. Do your own thinking. And let's see. I want to make sure we get. Yeah, we're going to give him horses that built America. Yep. Got to always point him out, you know, because he's always on the job. Look at the size of these. It just, oh my God. Just think about this. The juxtaposition of this ground level with this ground level. Okay. What kind of intelligence does it make to build your building in such a way that one side of the building is on one ground level and the other side of the building, well, we're going to have it at a different ground level, but we'll have, you know, areas to go down, because that makes sense. How? In what way? It doesn't make sense. Why would you just not grade the fucking ground? Excuse my French. We got to use our heads, people. That's a badass car right there. I need one of them. Anyways. Got your fire hydrants in place in 1905. Interesting. That is a humongous freaking doorway. I believe, and I'm not absolutely positive, that this road to the right here is a Lucid Avenue, which is the big avenue that where all the mansions were on, where John D. Rockefeller lived and all them, you know, jackasses. So, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, let's see what else we got going on. We would have added these fire escapes here. Oh, these are cool windows right here. Wow. Wow, that's beautiful. Really beautiful. OTIS order of what? The Templars? I don't know. It's not the Oddfellas. Huh. OTIS. I don't know what that is. Otis. I don't know what that stands for. Anyways, I thought it might be the International Order of Oddfellas, but it's not. So, look at the horseshit signage they got on the windows. It goes up and down as you open the windows. That's absolutely brilliant. What idiot. What? Just look at the shit that we create. I mean, what horse crap? Who the fuck is walking on the ground here, right? And thinking, huh, I should look up here, you know, and I should read, oh, stockbroker. Well, I need that motherfucker. He's going to get me some stocks. Seriously. No, what you're really going to wonder is why there's Tartarian lines all the way across here and all the way across here. Going to wonder that, and then you're going to wonder why, oh why, there's an 8-point asterisk above his head. Oh, you're going to be wondering that. I'm wondering that. And that's representing the torus field right there. Got an antenna. Guess you need that. Oh man. That is something else. Jeez. Scrubbed cartouches. Keystones. I mean, that thing is freaking something else. Yeah. I don't know what that is. Okay. We had these horseshit awnings. Kind of rail system they got. Got a 2-rail, okay. Alrighty. Let's move on. Okay, what we have here is copper production, circa 1906. 12,000 horsepower compound pump. Calmet and Hecla Stamp Mill, Lake Hendon, Michigan. And I just thought this picture was pretty nifty. I mean, look at the size of that wheel. This is 1906. And just to give you an idea, that's a chair for like a dude to sit in and eat his lunch. And then this is the scale that we're building in. I mean, look at the freaking nuts on that thing. I mean, I'm thinking, I'm not positive, but does that not look like steel? I mean, it just, the scale is just astronomical. Look at the size of this thing. I'd say that's timber framed. Is that? Yeah. This thing here is connected to the freaking rafters, man. That's high-tech shit right there. Man, that's badass. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's just interesting. I think all these old things need to be relooked at. You know, I used to look at this stuff and think that, you know, it's just old. It's not modern. But maybe that's not right. What the hell? Okay. That's weird. There is must be a photograph. Hey, it's so weird. There's a photograph behind this photograph. See? It's a house. Oh, that's so weird. And there's a picket fence right here. Man, I don't know. That could be pavement light right there. They did put pavement light in some of the factories. It's hard to tell. I don't know about that right there. That's very strange. Okay, anyways, I got hung up there. This is 1950, Washington, D.C. This is the White House renovation. Second floor oval study above the Blue Room, north wall, and part of floor removed for installation of steel shoring columns. So this is inside the White House, which is interesting. You know, you think about the White House and you just, you know, I always assumed the White House was, you know, there the whole time. Like it was, I mean, I know that they redecorate it from time to time, like every time there's a new president. And I knew that, you know, maybe they added some things, wings or whatever. But, you know, the truth is that they gutted the son of a bitch, you know. And it's nothing like it was. So what was really there? And I find this interesting right here. You know, you got this humongous beam here. This, I guess, would be a joist. But what's interesting is that these cross joists here are going. They're sitting horizontal instead of vertical. So I'm not sure what's going on there. It's very strange. I've never seen that before. I don't know. Maybe it's a notch for timber framing. I don't know. It's hard to tell without seeing more inside here. That's weird. Look at those hoses or cables or something hanging down through there. That's odd. These men are like, what the hell is going on here, man? I mean, these Tartarian people, man. Excuse me, old world people. Hey, let's see. Those are weird. I guess those are those hollow bricks. Very interesting. Interesting to be used as a ceiling. Look at all that brick. Look how thick that walling is. I don't know. I just found it interesting. Oh, okay. Well, you know, if you believe in the Civil War, okay, you know, this is what you get. You want to see a actual photograph of, you know, battle in the Civil War, you know, where men are actually firing at each other, charging each other, fighting each other, blood flying, bombs exploding. Well, you ain't gonna find it. You know why? Because it doesn't exist. You know why it doesn't exist? Because it didn't happen. Okay? This happened. I got a picture of this. This is the horse shit that they give us. Okay? This is the horse shit narrative. We're gonna hold hands. Okay? I'm gonna hold a gun to his head so he don't talk about, you know, holding this dude's leg. Okay? We're gonna have a little threesome here. Okay? Oh, you know, he's dandy. I mean, you know, this is the horse shit they give us. Okay? Oh, there was people on the sidelines watching the battles. Okay, why didn't they take a photograph of it? They had cameras. See? There's cameras. Okay? You're telling me somebody said, man, if I just had a picture of this battle, it would be I'd make so much freaking money. It'll be all over the world. I'll be rich. Not one photograph of live fighting, because it didn't happen. I'm not saying there weren't men that dressed in blue uniforms and men that dressed in gray uniforms and, you know, different armies, okay? And I'm not saying that they weren't trained or they didn't practice or they didn't go on missions or didn't do things with these, you know, armies. They probably did, just not what you're told. Do you really think that the men and women that are over in Afghanistan right now are fighting? No, they're guarding poppy fields, people. Okay, I've seen the photographs of people I know. Okay? They're guarding poppy fields. Okay? Am I saying they're not fighting over there? Sure they're fighting. Sure they're fighting. They're bombing people that didn't do shit to them, and they're fighting back. Wouldn't you? Okay? I'm not putting down the military. It's not their fault they're being told to do this. They're in a bad situation, and I feel for them. But don't believe the horse shit either. Civil War didn't happen the way they told us. Cannons aren't cannons. Men didn't sit in a line and fire bullets back and forth at each other. It didn't happen that way. It was a cover story. It's horse shit. Let's move on. New York City, 1905. Johnstown Flood, Coney Island. An attraction commemorating and profiting from the deadly Pennsylvania disaster of 1889. Now, if you don't know what the Johnstown Flood is, I highly suggest that you go and do a little research on this. It is the worst disaster in American history prior to 9/11. It is the first use of the American Red Cross. And long story short, the elite had a hunting lodge, and they had a lake and a dam that was damming up the lake so they could fish on the lake and ride their little boats on the lake. And they screwed around, and the dam broke, and it flooded an entire town, Johnstown. Wiped it off the freaking map. Well, it's still there today, but it destroyed the shit out of the place. Killed thousands of people. Found people 300 miles away down the river. Okay? It was bad. Look into it. Absolutely amazing piece of history. And it's connected to the big, you know, robber barons. You know, they're involved in that. But this is a little thing at Coney Island, you know, where you can go and witness what happened. You can see the tragedy. So this kind of horse shit that they give you. They sell the death and destruction. You know, you notice that there's a memorial down at Ground Zero now. It's the same horse shit. They got something that tells the official story of what happened. And people pay their, 2 cents to go and hear the official narrative. It's all horse shit. I just thought this was interesting. Something weird. That's interesting facading right there. I mean, this is probably more than likely, I'd say that's an eagle, which is representative of the phoenix. Oh, here's a Johnstown Flood, the Great Flood, the city swept away. Oh yeah, let's terrorize the children's with a story of death and destruction. Oh, and they show you the big old beautiful lake that the elite lost because we're so sad they lost their lake. Admission 25 cents, 15 cents for children. That's definitely boss man. This dude is just something else. Okay. Anyways, look into Johnstown Flood. It's a great little rabbit hole. This is New York, 1908, 19th Ward Bank, 72nd Street Branch. This is a tiny little building I just thought was neato. Got your pyramid symbology, like a sun disk. Got horseshit we write on the building. Got a 8-point asterisk all over the front door. Like another sun disk. Got a coal hole there. Got a access to the underground right here. This looks like it has pavement light in it. Looks like it has the raised nubs. So this would have been very early pavement light right here, if that's what that is. Hard to tell from the photograph. Trees are so precious we have to put, iron grating around them. Around this tiny ass little tree. Look at that, like a little Phoenician wave right there. Cool little wrought iron work. 4%. Maybe that's the interest you earn on their fiat currency. Look at that little arched doorway right there. Very interesting. Okay, it's not level right there across the bottom. That's a vent into the underground right there. Another little arch there. Brick, brick, brick. Does that look like brick to you? No, it doesn't. But guess what? It's brick. This is facade, people. Remember that. It's all facade. Brick is strong. Brick is cheap. Brick is easy to install. This is New York's circa 1910 C.N. Schwab Residence, Riverside. So that's a residence. Okay. Nice finial right there. Interesting. Kind of reminds me of a lotus opening. Cool light back there. Keystones back there. Wow, look at that sucker. Man, big old building back there. Look at those antennas. Yeah, boy. Man, all kinds of juice up there. This sucker was pulling him some good ether. Look at those vents right there. They call them chimneys now. That's some sort of old world tech right there. Those right there that we call chimneys, they're not chimneys. Those antennas are badass, man. Very cool. This thing had antennas all over it. Just everywhere. Some dude lived in here, man. Why do you need something like this? You don't. Nobody does. These are found homes, man. We got a rot on our trees. We got to protect the trees so that nothing gets to them. That is a freaking big house. Mudflood window type doors or something down there. Mudflood windows right there. There. Man. And I bet you that's brick underneath. Bet you all this is facade. Let's see what we got over here. Ooh, hello big building. Portals up here, arched windows. Horseshit signage, we would have added that. Alright. New York's circa 1920 Polaris Royale on Broadway. That's pretty cool, man. What we got here? Prince Albert. What a dick. Okay, excuse me. And okay, can't read too good. Bread. Once to every woman. I don't know what. I wish I could read these. Thoughtlessness. Thoughtless woman. Okay. Alright. Thoughtless woman. Sleep nights, keep awake days. Got you a Tartarian owl there. Hanging out. Aster. Kissing time. Ooh. Okay. St. John's needs your help. Camel. I've tried them all. But give me a camel. I'm a douchebag. Excuse me. Gotta be a smartass every now and then. Hotel Bristol. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Palace Royale. Dorothy Dixon. Dining and dancing. Oh boy. Got a bunch of ghost people. Got pavement light all down here. That's cool. You can see the lights. Very interesting. Pavement light going around there. Pavement light going across the front. Oh, got you 8-point asterisks right there. And these are actual vents going into the basement. Pretty cool. I don't think I have found that one from a collection. Look at the brickwork there. Very interesting. Arched windows. Hiding back there behind. Let's see. Let's get out and see what we got up there. Got your Vesica Pisces right here. Right here, this symbol here. Looks like a double fish symbol. Which is what the fish symbol actually is a Vesica Pisces hidden in plain sight. Ain't got nothing to do with Jesus, people. Got your diamond symbology there. It's old world. A lot of stuff hidden in plain sight here. You gotta look close. Pavement light. Is that more? Yep. More of the 8-point asterisk right there. It's hard to tell, but it is. Oh, sorry. Ladies wear, men's wear, diamonds. Diamonds are worthless, people. Look into that. They ain't worth shit. All you people that are worshiping at the diamond ring store and putting your faith in your significant other because they gave you a big ass rock, you're fools. Diamonds ain't worth shit. You've been sold a lie. Look it up. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Shit. They told you that. You believe that because they told it to you. They said, buy this. Buy your woman this. Look in... I could go on for a while about this, but I'm not going to. Look into diamonds being worthless. It's all horse shit. Okay? They ain't worth a damn. Okay? If you find that significant other... Okay, and this is going out to you men folk out there. If you find the person that does it for you, and you're concerned about marrying that person because you can't afford a big ass diamond for them that equals up to a certain amount of your salary per month, screw that, man. You ask that woman to marry you and get her a daggone cracker box ring, and if the woman loves you, she'll say yes. And you can always get a wedding ring. Ain't nothing wrong with that. A little gold band ring, just a symbol of I'm taken. I don't see anything wrong with that, but quit waiting to marry a woman because you ain't got a diamond. She don't need no diamond. Her friends told her that. Her mama told her that. Her grandmama told her that. Her grandma's grandma told her grandma that. Okay? It's all horse shit. Look it up. Moving on. His brother's keeper. Yeah. Okay. So's don't. Toothpaste. That don't even sound right. Cleans teeth clean. Okay, well that's a good thing. Cleans teeth clean. Well, that would be the purpose, isn't it? Anyways, look at these little cars here. What a time. Wouldn't it be fun to have a car like that? You're not worried about anybody breaking into it. You ain't got no doors. It's just, I mean, can you imagine today that, I don't know, it's just a different time. What a different time. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Well, oh, there it goes. New York, 1908, Hotel Astor in Times Square. I guess the Times building is behind. Hard to tell because I don't see it. Got some interesting work going on here where they've taken it out and looks like there's what they call chimneys, fireplaces with a chimney, but this would have been some sort of air return for Antiquitech. Interesting that they're tearing this out in 1908. That's very interesting. Look at this platform here. Got this little shack here. Guarding the people. Horse build marker right there, hanging out. Those cars are cool, man. Look at that thing. God. What a time. That would have been fun to ride in, I think. I mean, you just be straight pimping down the road in that thing. Of course, those lowly people could not probably afford such thing, but whatever. I wonder what these things are right here. What is that? That's odd looking. Fellow moving on. There's the guy that cleans up the horse shit, y'all. There ain't no horse shit. That's because they got a guy whose job is to clean up the horse shit. He's right there. That's what he does. He's paid to do that. He goes around and he cleans up the horse shit. Okay? That's what he does. He hangs out and he cleans up horse shit. And we got Antiquitech lights here. Man, Hotel Astor. I mean, look at the size of that freaking thing right there. Look at door. See, this is how they trick your eye. They build out these things right here, but the door is actually here. And this is interesting. This big iron railing right here is hiding something. Hard to see what. Ah. Uh-huh. What'd I tell you? Stairs going down. Yep. That's what it is. I knew it was hiding something. Anytime you see iron railing on the front of a building, you know there's something there. What the heck they're doing? Got a 3-rail system here. Interesting. So that means they had the cable piece that went underneath the ground that was originally pulled via a cable line and then changed to a conduit system. Look at that light, man. That's badass. Yep. Yep. That's the horse built America right there. He's just hanging. Got your Mudflood all down under there. See all that big railing right there? And make sure you don't fall in the hole. We had all the horseshit awnings. Got your keystone. Very interesting. Big ass doorways. These look like portals. Those are very strange little windows. Windows with keystones atop. Very interesting. Reminds me of Phoenician waves right there. All kinds of Antiquitech lights up there. Portals. Very interesting. Looks like scrubbed cartouches all over top. Antiquitech lights on the top. All over it. That is a killer building. Wow. Could be a lion right there. Hard to tell. Possibly a lion. Get your mercury ball antenna. I mean, gosh, can you imagine? This is 1908. There ain't no damn air conditioning. This is New York City. If you ever been to New York in the summertime, you know it's hotter than hell. It's hot. It's New York. Okay, it's hot. It's real hot. And you imagine how hot it is up in there? You ain't got no air conditioning? I mean, dang. Scrub cartouches. Here's those. I've seen these before. These sideways poles. I mean, I just find those really odd. I really don't think those are original. I don't think those were there. I think they pulled these off the top of the buildings. See, they match these, okay? They look just like those. I think they pulled those off the top of the building and stuck them right here to hang a damn flag off of. Because see, look at this horse shit that's rigged up to it. That looks like our horse shit. That doesn't look like old world stuff. Scrub cartouches. That's a hell of a building. Oh, those are badass lights right there. Those are so cool. EXP. That's the Express. Yeehaw. Churchville. Oh, isn't that sweet? Churchville. Budweiser. Damn, they selling some beer. They gonna make sure you see that. Astor's Theater. Okay. Interesting. Antennas up there. Portal. Big old strong antenna right there. Antiquitech up here. Okay. And again, just to reiterate that if you're ever wondering why there's not much horse shit on the ground, it's because if you left horse shit on the ground, everybody be stepping in it, it would draw flies, it would stink like shit, so they picked it up. I'm just saying. Okay. Panorama from roof of ferry. And this is San Francisco in the aftermath of the 1906 earthquake and fire, otherwise known as DEW attack, direct energy weapon. For those of you not in the know, because fire does not destroy everything in its wake. Just doesn't burn brick. Sorry. Just doesn't work that way. Fire consumes, fire moves on, it burns the burnable material, and it's over. Okay, it doesn't burn entire cities down to the ground into a heap of pile of bricks. It doesn't work that way. I mean, this is interesting. This is ground level here, okay? Look, sapsucker here, this boss man, he's walking to work, go view his damage that he's done, and he's on ground level. See? Ground level. Do we understand ground level? That's current ground level. Let's follow ground level. Going to follow ground level. This is ground level here. Today, okay, or then, excuse me, but it's probably still today. And arched windows underneath ground level, right there. That's Mudflood. Okay, same thing here, underground level. That's ground level. See, boss man walking to work, ground level. Okay, and arched windows, arched doors. We've probably closed this up right here. Arched windows. I don't know what this thing is. I'm not sure. It's funky. You know, okay, fire burns everything except wooden barrels. Just saying. Maybe wooden boxes. It doesn't really like wood, you know, fire. This kind of fire, at least. Look how thick they built these buildings. That is how you build a brick freaking building. Okay? 3 layers thick. You hit that with a wrecking ball, it ain't coming down. That thing's solid. Looks like a ship's wheel. got a underground door hole there. See that? Check the wreckage of these pictures very carefully. Never know what you'll find. So that's our horseshit telephone pole. They had to get rid of San Francisco. It was I believe a little too old world to explain for the time frame it's supposed to be built in. Arched windows that have been blocked up. So these were open at one point and they closed them off. Weird looking right there. Right there too. Very weird. Okay. I don't know. Incredible construction. This is another thing of old world. Right here, you see this where the joists go into the bricks? That's old world tech. Okay. That's how they used to do it. Right there. When you see that, that's a symbol of old. That's a sign of old world tech. That's something to look for. Yeah, San Francisco had to have been just incredible. Absolutely incredible. They had to get rid of it. You don't take out an entire city unless it was incredible. I mean, look at what they did in Europe. They had to get rid of Europe. You know, during World War I and II, they had to go in there and just decimate the place. They couldn't have people seeing what was there and go into the future. The lie would have never held up as long as it has. Look at that thing. Wow. It's like a ghost coming out of the smoke. That's badass. Beautiful right there. God. Anyways. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's see what else we got. Philadelphia, 1904, Broad Street. Oh boy, a Masonic temple and Arch Street Methodist Church, north from City Hall. Masonic temple, which would be, I'm guessing this one. Oh, that's a hotel. Which one's my Masonic temple? They're not talking about that, are they? It could be. I don't know. I don't see anything that's... I don't know. The North... Huh. I don't know which one the Masonic Temple is. Well, damn. Anyways, let me look here. Arched windows. Old world. Oh, okay, that's weird. Okay. That is a very freaking odd picture. That looks like a wormhole. That dude is going in the wormhole. Zoof, zoof. Okay, anyways, sorry for the sound effects. There's the horse of build America. He's right there hanging out. He changes colors too. Didn't know that, did you? Blurry people, gotta have them. Aberdeen Hotel. At the pool hall, got arc light. Okay. Look at that beauty back there. Good grief. Man, that reminds me of Rome right there. Tickle-tick up there, big old ether antenna. That's a hell of a building. Big old openings here. Look at that. Wow, look at that. Jeez Louise. That thing's wild. What a time, man. I bet you, walk around like you were somewhere up in here. You can see why the old timers had a lot of pride. You gotta understand, they thought they built this shit. It makes sense, I mean, I always wondered, how did they have so much pride? And I always thought, yeah, it was hard work. That builds pride in oneself, but I don't think that's it. Not saying they didn't do hard work. I think they grew up in this world and they looked around and they were proud of what they thought that they built, what their forefathers built. But that's a lie. What are you staring at, man, you creepy kid? That's Boss Man right there. I mean, seriously. Got a fence around here. They're probably covering some kind of mud flood action. Hard to tell. Got something right here. Probably an entrance to the basement. It's interesting how that wall is angled outwards. So it's not a straight wall. Kind of Star Fort look, Got diamond symbology here. All over this thing. Big diamond in the middle, but little diamonds with the flower symbology. Very common. That is just awesome looking right there. That's very Moorish to me, I think. Windows on the ground. That's not normal. Big ol' arch. This could probably, this window right here, I could probably make a case for that being an 8-point asterisk. You got your vertical, your horizontal, and your X. Just saying. Oh, you can see a little better there. Vertical, horizontal, and your X. I'd say, yeah, that's an 8-point asterisk. Even though it's not the classic 8-point asterisk. And that's my symbol for flat Earth. And I call it 8-point asterisk because I don't know what else to call it. I'm sure it has a better name. It has been known as other names, the 8-spoked wheel in the Buddhist traditions, the Indian traditions. But I say 8-point asterisk because I think it's a good way to separate it from known traditions. Nobody else is saying that, so I can say that without being confusing. If I say 8-spoked wheel, you think Buddhism, okay? Well, I'm not trying to talk about the Buddhist representation of it, or the Buddhist thoughts about the symbol of the 8-point wheel. I'm trying to say that it is a symbol for flat Earth. So I call it 8-point asterisk. It's not the best name in the world, but it gets the point across. Anyways, moving on. Let's go see what else we got. Oh, this is interesting. I've got 2 photographs of this. I'm going to show you both. This is a place in Maryland called the Glen Echo Amusement Park Funhouse. This is in 1925. This thing is just freaking like next level, kind of just strange. I don't know. I'll just show you around and you can look in, you can look into this and see what you find on it. There's just very odd things going on in this place. Got these weird games. Here's a tunnel that turns and spins, which, you know, that's something that we have today, but it's just kind of odd. And then, you know, look at this thing right here. What the hell is that? Does it rock back and forth? I mean, I don't know. It's just really weird. It's got all these weird signs. The answer to the question is the monomer, the fewer, no, the higher, the fewer. The answer to the question is the higher, the fewer. Why is a mouse, when it stinks? I can't read that real well. That's just weird. Gentlemen will not get gay, others must not. Get gay, gentlemen will not, others must not. Get gay, gentlemen will not, others must not. God, that's weird. What the hell are they talking about? Somethingism is roughneck. I can't read that one. This is just a very strange place. I don't have a lot to say about it other than it's just weird. This dude looks like he's in control of something, and he looks like he's just a creep. But that's just an opinion. If you find a 4-foot round square, please hand it over to Riley. What the hell are you talking about? This a good idea to keep moving. Tis a good idea to keep moving. Oh, I never noticed that. Look at it. They got a slide right here. Look, you slide on that thing. Okay, this is just very strange. This right here is a spinning. This right here spins. It just spins around and around and around and around and around, and people fly off of it. And I think I read people getting hurt people getting hurt on the thing. I don't know. This is really weird. There are 22,222 electric lights in Glen Echo Park. If you don't believe it, count them. Do not get on whole in motion. I can't read that. The war, I can't read that. Forget it at the dance. I don't know. This is just a weird place. Something is one of the cheapest things on earth, so hand it out freely. Maybe honesty? If you don't know what to do next, count the grains of sand at the bottom of the big slide. Okay. The best cure for blues is joy. Get cured here. It's weird how these ladies turned out in the photograph. That's weird. Anyways, got boater hats on here. Boater hats is an interesting little rabbit hole to go down. Look into boater hats. That was a fad, and it became a big deal. while people fighting and getting hurt on it. Let's see. Is that the second one or first? Yes. No, this is the second one. Okay. This is the same place, 1925. Okay. See, there's that spinning floor, and people would get in there and they would just spin around and around and around and around. I have another picture somewhere. I thought it was in here, but it's not. I don't know where it is. I gotta find it. But I had another picture of it. I think it was showing this thing spin around. That's where it looks like a moving sidewalk right there. And I don't know what the heck that thing is. What the hell is that? Okay, we're climbing up in a slide and we're sliding down. Those are fun. There's some pretty normal stuff there. The answer to the question, why is a mouse when it spins, is the higher the viewer. Okay, whoever wrote that stuff's on a different level. I don't know where they're at. That's interesting engineering in the ceiling there. Very interesting how they put that together. This is a big structure. Rowdyism. The bull moose is for fun. Don't shoot the bullseye. I don't know. Forget your cares. Be a kid, if only for an hour. Got arched windows there. I see. Late night we hung. I don't know. The rope still works. Last night we hung one. Rowdy, the rope still works. What the hell? The operator is a bird. He is perched high just to make the wheels hum. Sit down on the wheel, don't stand up. So this guy must be the operator of the wheel. That is, I don't know. This place is just weird. Roulette wheel. Do not something motion. I don't know. Just something I ran across I thought was weird. Anyways, I guess we'll move on. See what else is going on. Great Salt Lake, circa 1900, Salt Air Pavilion. Go and get your salt bath. And while we're in Utah, let's just give a shout out to John Levy and Streets of Tartaria, Caleb over there, and those two are doing good work in Utah. So hi to the Utah Mudflooders. Check out their channels if you hadn't already. And we got Antiquitech up here. That's a big old fancy dancy one. Yeah, got your Slipknot logo. I don't know what that is. Looks like Antiquitech, those things. Yeah, I mean, seriously, the Mormons needed this you know, in 1900. This was important for the worship of their silver plates and all. Gold plates or whatever color plates they were saying they were. It's all horse shit. Anyways. I mean, seriously, you know what religion is? It's whoever can come up with the biggest load of crap is the winner. That's religion. It's beautiful architecture. Got an antenna that's been turned into a flagpole. See, this is what happens to flags when you fly them. They tear up. And we're going to Knoxville, Tennessee. This is the courthouse in 1903. Because we have so much courthousing we got to do in 1903 in Knoxville, Tennessee, that we need that. Just saying. Enough said. Moving on. Wow. That's boss, man. And I think that this sucker goes down in the ground. I think your ground level's down, down, down. I think we added the horse shit right here. Chew. Ram's horn tobacco. Interesting. Okay. Oh, in case you didn't see it, there's an obelisk. In case you need an obelisk in America, because, you know, we're Egyptian and all. Or you could just realize it's a Nether Tower. Just saying. I mean, see that phone pole? We cannot cut a straight tree down. We use crooked trees. We can build perfectly beautiful straight buildings, but we cannot, for the life of us, do a tree that's straight. And we don't know how to do that technology. That's too difficult. But this is freaking easy, man. We got this. Bullshit. This is a very freaking weird phenomenon. I want a freaking answer to it. I see this all over the world. These trees with the tops cut off. And it is bothering the hell out of me because there is something about these trees with the tops cut off that's important. And I don't know what it is. I can't figure it out. This is not easy to do. Okay? First off, this is 1903. Okay? They didn't have a damn chainsaw. Okay? You had to climb up this tree. Okay? Now hold on now. This little fella right here, he got to climb this big old tree. You got to climb up here. Climb up here. You got to climb over here. Okay? You got to take a saw out. And you got to cut this limb off while he's hanging off the tree. And then you got to climb back down. You got to climb up this tree. You got to climb up here. You got to climb up here. And you got to cut this limb off. And he's got to cut this limb off. He's got to cut this big old thing off here. Which is interesting because it's cut off perfectly like horizontal. It's not cut at an angle. You would think he would cut it at an angle because if you cut this tree off and you're up here, right? If you know anything about felling trees, you know that there ain't no damn way to know which way that tree is going to fall. Okay, then he's got to climb back down. And he's got to climb back up. And he's got to cut off this tree, which he did flat again. Okay, you got to climb back down. You got to climb back down, and then he's got to climb back up. He's got to cut off this one. And then he's got to climb back down. You got to climb back up. You got to cut off this limb. You got to cut off this limb. You got to cut off this big old limb. You got to climb back down. Oh, you got to come over here. You got to cut this one off. Okay, then you got to climb all the way back down the tree. Then you got to come over here. You got to climb up here. You got to. You see what I'm saying? Okay. They didn't do that with a damn ladder. Okay. That's another thing about felling trees. If you've ever felled a tree, you know that you don't do it off a damn ladder. Because if that tree, when that tree limb comes down, first off, you don't know which way it's going. Second off, if it hits your ladder and you're on it, you're fucked. Okay? So anybody that's felled a tree knows that that's a mud flood window. And that's a mud flood window. And that's a mud flood window. And that's an arched mud flood doorway going into mud flood. And there's more over here in case you need that. Big ass arched doorways. We added the steps. Look how big that door is. That door is, okay, that dude is 4'3". Excuse me. This guy's maybe, let's give him 6 foot. Okay. That's a good, I don't know, 12-foot door. I don't even know. And I don't even think that's the bottom of the door originally. I think it went down further. I mean, that's just amazing. I don't even know. And actually, that could have been converted from a window. I don't know. That thing, that's ridiculous. That's obviously converted from old world. Got your pyramid, your portal. This looks like it had something in it. Maybe. I don't know. Hard to say because of this. I don't know. Got tuning. Clocks. Clocks are expensive. They've taken something out here. Probably here too. Big old end. That's a fractal antenna up there. Got your ether antenna here. Interesting finial arched windows. This is in Knoxville, Tennessee, y'all. There's this symbol I see a lot. Maybe that represents the 4 angels. Not sure. Not sure about that. Don't know. Arched door going below ground. Added the stairs. We added the stairs. Arched mud flood windows. This one's lost the ball here. Got your ball finial there. No loafing. Look, now I've told you to quit loafing. Y'all need to beat it. Bunch of hoodlums. We got time for that now. You hear me? We ain't got time for that at all. Now you just need to move on. Toledo, Ohio, circa 1901. The Toledo Club. And Horses Build America's coming through right here on your left hand side of your screen. He's busy doing the horsing. And we got mud flood windows all down the side here. And that is Boss Man right there. And that's his apprentice. And that's the blind horse. We don't discriminate on blind horses or seeing horses. It don't mean a thing. There's some horse shit we built right there. You see the gutter that comes down the way that it does? I think that's something we added. I think we did the gutters. And we definitely would write the bullshit on this. Any signage you see is us. Pyramid symbology, pyramid symbology. They love their pyramids. More pyramids. Finials up here. AKA Antiquitech. Interesting symbology there. On a knot chimney. Interesting cupola. Nice finial and ether antenna. Portals up here. And shit we wrote on the building. That's a cool light right there. I hadn't seen one of those. That's neato. We obviously put in that phone pole. See how crooked it is? Diamond symbology. It's a shell, Phoenician. Could be a lion there, but I'm not real sure. Hard to see. I don't see any more of them. Big old door. Look at that thing. So we might have come in here and done this business. I don't know. That's hard to. That's a tough one right there. Wow. I don't even know. That is a wild one right there. That's one I hadn't seen. The way that's designed. The stairs look like something we added, but this looks like it's original. And I don't know. Maybe it had a door over. I don't. That's a weird one. Man, you'd have to really get boots on the ground with that one. Need a Toledo, Ohio boots on the ground person. Tell me what's going on in this right here. I don't even know if that building's still there. Who knows? They like tearing things down. Dr. Wood. Sorry. And okay, I've had enough of that. Oh. Ooh, that's pretty. That's pretty. Oh, I like that. You got your diamond symbology right there. Your as above, so below right here. Interesting. Can't read it. Shoot. That's odd. Oh. Gotta point it out so everybody knows there is horse shit in this world. Here, I'll show you some more. So y'all are filled up on the horse shit. For some reason, there's certain times people get upset there's no horse shit. So I like to point it out because for some reason they like to point that out, that there's no horse shit. Why is there no horse shit? It's because they cleaned it up. Utica, New York. 1910, Hotel Utica. Okay. Book and job printing. We're peeping in your window, lady. Peeping Tom, peeping Tom. Peeping Beags. Peeping at the coal hole cover right there. And the Mudflood right there, and right there. Oh, and right there. And right there. Yep. I'm going to show it to you. I don't mind. Yep. I'm a firm believer that you don't build that way. There's people out there to say that makes sense. Well, they're dumbasses. You can tell them I said so. And we would have put these steps in. And there's my flow one. And that's supposed to represent the sun, but you know, I kind of am starting to wonder if these represent the flat Earth also. I'm tossed up on that one. Keystone. I have been told that this does possibly represent that, but and I'm starting to question it. It's possible. It's just it's just, you kind of have to look at it in a different way. This being your north post, and this being your flat plane, and then this right here being one of the Tauruses, one of the angels, you know, going out. Just an idea. Fire hydrants. So they got their fire hydrants. Okay. We would have added the fire escapes there. This weird thing right there. These pieces going up here. Those are strange. I'm not sure what's going on with those. There's some sort of weird light. I don't know. Boy, that's an interesting top there. Yeah. Alright, stick framers, get out there and frame that for me. Oh, that's easy. Oh yeah, and you're not going to have power. You're not going to have circular saws, table saws, miter saws, compound miter saws. You're not going to have nail guns or air tools, recip saws. Okay. You're not going to have flat maxes. Okay. You're going to have a stick ruler. That's what I'm going to give you: a stick ruler and a hammer and a handsaw. Okay. And a plumb bob. I'm going to give you a pencil. Throw that in for free. And I want you to build me this building. Okay. Alright. And you know, you can't work at night because you ain't going to have no light. So you have to work during the day. No night work. No overtime. Okay. We can't handle that. Okay. And you have to deliver it all. You know, this is in 1910, but this will be built before that. So, you know, we won't have, you know, cars. We'll have horses. So you'll get all your materials delivered via horse. And we don't have big building cranes. So you'll have to create some sort of crane crap thing to hoist it up there, to get it up there to the top. And, you know, need to make sure that happens. And this isn't a platform building, you know. That won't be, you know, come around till the 1950s. So, you know, at best, you know, if this was, I mean, this is a brick building here, but I'm talking about the roof up here. The roof is not brick. This is framed, okay. So, and then I need you to do all the facading here, and make that real pretty and nice for me, because you know, you're supposed to be carpenter of the year. Okay. In all your experience building platform stick frames, you know, I want you to build me something of that quality with no power tools. I want to see that, because, you know, it's real easy to cut a board straight with a handsaw. You know, that takes a little bit more time, you know, a little bit more, and it takes a little bit more time to nail in a nail with a hammer, and it's a little harder. You don't have shock absorbing hammers in this time, so you're gonna, you know, you're gonna get the problems in your elbows and your wrist from hitting nails all day. So that's gonna slow you down a little bit. But you know, we don't have any ladders to get you up there that'll reach that far, so you know, you're gonna have to build scaffolding all the way up and things like this, you know, at times. I know that's a little bit out there, but I'm trying to be a jackass here, because, you know, folks believe that, you know, well, we can build this. No. No. No, you can't. That looks Venetian. That's very cool. It's an antenna up there. Dear Mr. Contractor, I want you to count all the bricks in New York City that were used in the 19th century, including the star forts, walls, anything bricks were used for. Roads, if they did roads with them, or anything. And I want you to then research the capabilities of the brick manufacturing in the 1900s of that particular area, and any other areas that you say that the bricks came from. And then I want you to add in all the bricks that every manufacturing plant was supposed to have come up with in that time frame. And I'd like that number on my desk by tomorrow, if you don't mind, Mr. Contractor. And guess what? It's a rhetorical question, because we can't make that many bricks. The bricks don't lie. This is the aftermath of San Francisco fire, Van Nuys Avenue. This is the limit of the fire. So this is where the fire supposedly ended in 1906. So this is where the DEW attack ended. So the directed energy weapon ran out of directed energy. And this is what it looks like. It only partially burned things. So this is interesting to me, because usually it burns everything. Guess that fire hydrant didn't do them any good. There's your tourist. Because after a major disaster, I personally like to go tourism, and I like to get on my Bermuda shirt and shorts and my sunglasses and put a little suntan lotion on and go sightseeing, in a disaster area where everybody's lost everything, the next day. I mean, I just think that's a good idea. I mean, everybody else thinks it's a good idea. And we get all dressed up in our nines. We don't have any homes, but we're going to be dressed up in, decked to the nines in our Sunday best. And we're going to go sightseeing all the old world homes that we just destroyed with our DEW technology. So, we're going to check out the Antiquitech lights and our diamond symbology with, I don't know, 4 angels symbology maybe. I mean, because this is just what we do. Man, that thing is badass. That's some serious tech right there. I mean, you can see in this picture right here, it explains itself why San Francisco had to go down. They couldn't explain this. I mean, look at that. Mudflood windows. They were like, there's no way that people were ever going to believe that we built this. We can't pass this off to the public. Even the people that live here that know that it's horseshit don't believe that the horseshit's going to hold. So we're going to have to blow it up. And they put out the warning and told everybody to duck and cover, get out of town, and blew it up. Called it an earthquake. I mean, does that look like a damn earthquake? Does that look like a fucking earthquake? Does that look like an earthquake? No. Does it look like a fire? When's the last time you saw a fire burn a building down? A brick building. Yeah, it might burn the floors up and the roof up. But at least the shell, at least the skeleton. Diamond symbology. Taurus, fleur-de-lis. Look at that right there. Arched window or door. Big old arch there. Look at the thickness of that brick. Dynamite couldn't take this down. Not without being pre-drilled. I mean, we have to use our heads, people. I mean, they do this shit all the time to us. And we just walk away and don't care. We don't do anything about it. We just let the elite continually stomp on our neck, put their boot on our neck. You know, it's just like George Orwell said, if you want a symbol of the future, imagine a boot stomping on the human face forever. I mean, they just took down an apartment building in Miami with controlled demolition explosives. on the news, it's there. If you can't figure out that was a controlled demolition, you need to go back to kindergarten. Next. Vermont, circa 1905. Steam drills. Rutland Railroad Company. And I just don't even know what the hell to say about this Matrix Revolutions looking thing. I don't know. Somebody's going to have to tell me what in the hell is going on here. I don't even know. This one I was just stumped on. This is above my pay grade. Now you know what's going on. This fella right here, he got an idea of what the hell's going on. Look at him. He looks guilty as hell. He knows. He knows too. You know this dumbass knows. Yeah, he knows. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I mean, what the hell are y'all doing? We got a train car. Talking about this is steam drills. I mean, I don't know. Somebody gonna have to tell me what that is. I just don't know. This is the Wade House in Huntsville vicinity, Madison County, Alabama. That reminds me of Forrest Gump. Alabama. I just think this is very interesting because, you know, excluding the horse shit on the top, this looks like something we built. Okay, we probably added this crappy top here. So excluding that, these columns, I mean, these were at one time probably covered in something, or they didn't get covered. They were supposed to get covered. This building was never finished or something like that. But what's interesting about this is a lot of these columns that you see are brick. And you don't know that until they're blown up or something, or they're crumbling down. But you think they're wood or stone. I always thought they were stone. but they're not. They're facade. Not all of them, but I mean, it's just interesting. See, I think this is what they were supposed to look like right here. And I think maybe they just didn't get these done yet. It might have been in the process of building this home when the old world fell. And then we found the home and it was just never finished. Or it was mud flooded or something. I mean, you got these windows that go in below ground there. Weird little box there. I don't know. It's just interesting. And this just looks, the way this is done, I don't know. Really crappy framing. It's not got, you know, an outer coating here. No siding to it. You know, that's wood rot, so that's been there for a long time. I don't know. This is in 1939. I don't know, just something interesting. And right here we got Washington, D.C., circa 1908, South Facade, New Union Station. And we got a bicycle. And we got something back here, not sure what that is. Boss Man. Hello, Boss Man. That's a badass light right there. I like that. Oh, got a flat earth asterisk, 8-point asterisk there. Vertical, north and south, horizontal, flat earth, and the X equal in the 4 angels or the torus field. Eagle, you could insert Phoenix. Humongous columns, just enormous. Eagle on a ball. Phoenix rising. Beautiful lights, just absolutely gorgeous. And trolley. Cars. Oh my gosh, a black man. Hey man, what's up, brother? Oh, the man's following him. Better watch out, son. He's on your ass. Why you gotta be such a jackass? Look at him, the way he's looking. Man, you high and mighty son of a bitch, get in the back. Excuse me. Anyways, that's your trolley. Okay, that is interesting. Let's see. And this is Washington, D.C., 1935. Post Office Department building. Old post office building or pavilion. Old on the far left and new post office department. The new building, the Ariel Rios Federal Building. So I think they're saying that this is the old post office. I'm not positive, but I think that's what they're saying. So this enormous, gosh, I mean, seriously, why the hell would that be needed as a post office? I mean, that don't even make sense. I mean, Mudflood windows make sense. Yeah, let's build those. That makes really good sense. Let's build what's supposed to be a secure facility because, you know, it's for our letters and packages and shit. And let's put windows that you can just get into. Oh, no, don't worry. We're going to put iron on them. We're going to put big old iron bars on them because that makes sense. We're going to put rooms in the basement because we don't have any light when we built it. Oh, God. I mean, you know, stuff just writes itself. Pyramid, portal, big old Antiquitech antenna, mercury balls, Antiquitech. Nice cars here. We don't make them like that, do they? Oh, that's a nice old truck right there. I like that. Oh my gosh, look at this monstrosity. Man, I mean, does that make sense to you? Why do these tiny ass little people need anything that big? Why? It just doesn't even remotely add up. Why does this little tiny little midget lady need this? And this is another phenomenon, just you see it over and over again. Two different sizes of doors. You have in the middle, you have a really big door, and on the other sides, on the sides of it, you have smaller door. Like for two different sized people. Very weird phenomena. Keystone, excuse me. Keystone. Okay. And got your eagle there, which would be a phoenix. Trying to sell the globe here. It's probably something we added. We got pyramid. This is a fairly plain building, but it's, you know, it's brick. It's all brick. Everything's brick. And I think that's a point that we need to drive home, is that these buildings are brick. They look like stone. They look like they're built out of stones. They're not. They're brick. You know, it's all brick, man. That's brick. It doesn't look like brick, of course, because it's facaded. Facade is an outer coating. They put stone on the outside. It's facade. It's a lot easier and cheaper. Anyways, we got a catalog here. This is gonna have all kinds of goodies in it. Pavement lights. This is just the introduction. Hayward's was a brand that sold pavement lights. They're selling some kind of roof here. All the pictures and this catalog will be in the description, so you can go in and look at this stuff for yourself and read it if you want. This could be a symbol for flat earth right here. It's a nice finial. Interesting, those guys right there. Let's see. Check them out. Just hanging out on top of that thing. Interesting. It's really wild looking. Puttyless roof glazing. Dome at Brighton. Huh. Interesting. Specialist in all repairs. This is a gas station. Okay. It's like a kind of like a. Okay. Those are wild looking. Those are cool. Let's see. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, wait. By appointment to H.M. the King. Interesting. Alrighty. Showing how the glass is mounted. Interesting. Okay. Penny Cook's glazing. Okay. Let's see. Copper fire resisting glazing. Oh, Luxfer roof glazing. So Luxfer would be a cover name for Lucifer. Because remember that the people that are in charge of our realm are Luciferians. And so that's, you know, something you should look into. And I'm not talking about devil worship. That's horseshit. Satanists don't believe in Satan, people. Look it up. That's made up by the church. And let's see here. We got to learn to look at things differently. When they tell you one thing, it's the other. Okay, white is black, black is white, up is down, down is up. Okay, we have to look. It's an upside down, mixed up world, man. We got to think differently. I mean, I thought it was absolute horseshit when I heard that Satanists didn't believe in Satan. Well, go look it up. Satan is not a demon with a pitchfork and horns, man. Okay, number one. Number two, they don't believe that. That's not what they believe Satan is. They don't believe Satan's a person, man. Woman, whatever. And I'm not supporting Satanism. That's stupid too. I'm just saying that a lot of this horse shit that's going around, man, you got to look into it, man. Don't not look into something because you're afraid of it or because you don't believe in it. Look into it so you know what the hell you're talking about, man. Okay? Go read. Read a book. Remember what a book is, don't you? It's that thing with the pages. And no, it's not called Kindle. I just wanted to look at this mud flutter here. That's cool. And I'm gonna go back down size. Whoa, ooh, got something else cool to look at. Oh, I got too big. Okay, maybe down a little bit. Yeah, okay. Look at that finial. Man, that's antiquitechy. That's whack. Jeez. Alright. Okay. Wow, that's crazy looking. There's your 8-point asterisk right there. In case you needed one of those today. Didn't get enough of them. Let's see. Okay. Oh, this is a good example here of prism lighting. See, it says looks for windows prisms. This is a 75 to 80 foot standard building store. Okay, and they need to light it, so they put in the Lux for prism window prisms, the little 4x4 glass prisms, and the sun would come in and it would reflect the sun back into the building. So you can see how dark it is here. Okay, and then when they add the prisms, this is what it would do. So it's a before and after, and that's what they're for, and that's what's above the transoms in a store. Here's a diagram of how it works, of the light angles and how the light hits. And there's a window right there where you have the prism glass, and you can raise and shut it and get the light going different ways. Here they're talking about pavement light right here. So that's an interesting name for them. Reinforced concrete lantern lights. That's one I haven't heard. That's a new one on me. They have all different kinds of names for them. You know, different companies will call it different things in order to. They do the same thing today. Creatolux lights. You know, it's just other horseshit names. Every company had different names for things. But it's pavement light. Right here is pavement light. See, this is pavement lights. That's pavement lights. Alright. And they're showing how their pavement light goes together. Yeah, that looks real strong. This right here would be concrete, and this would be rebar. More pavement light. More pavement light. You can look into this if you want. Here's a trapdoor with pavement light in it. You've probably seen these on your city streets. Maybe not with the lights in them. Here's stallboards. Stallboards are transoms. I think these things are interesting. They have interesting designs in them. Like here you got the Star of David, which is very interesting. You know, you got your as above, so below. These are coal hole covers. And this is this shows how it would work. Right here. This one has a lever you pull down, and this one has a chain that holds it down. These are coal hole covers also, and they would have prism. You could put prism lights in these. More pavement light. More pavement light. Okay, that's about, you know, how it goes. That's a pavement light access door there, you know. Solar flaps. That's a coal hole cover with pavement light in it. Stallboards are transoms, and transoms are the glass above the stores, the little square block glasses above store windows. Lots of diagrams. You could order a lot of stuff in different sizes, you know. Pre-made. You could custom get things, but you know, a lot of it was pre-made. Alright, that's the end of it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I will leave all the links to the pictures and the catalog in the description. And I sure hope to see you next time. This is BEAGS, gonna go.
woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.